Hello everyone, Maurice and welcome to Things Invest. Talk about investing, finance, fresh development. For today's very returns only, the investment on top of today will be Ethereum Tech ETH. First, I want to say happy Saturday, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend so far. With respect to Ethereum, as I'm recording as of 7:22 a.m. on the Eastern Time, currently around like the $2,147 level, up about 0.34% so far. And as I was reading articles, basically I woke up about 6:15 a.m. again, for no specific reason. I just naturally wake up that early. I guess I'm just getting old, or my biological clock just, is tuned that way. So I was reading articles about like 45 minutes to an hour this morning as I woke up, and I got cleaned up, obviously. Um, Collectively speaking, we definitely have a list of very positive, consecutive positive news ever since from the article that came out 16 hours ago, with respect to that JP Morgan Wealth Management arm news, on allowing its clients, both on the private client side, but also institutional clients like hedge funds, institutions, on allowing them to trade crypto assets going forward, right, with the Ethereum trust and also with respect to the Bitcoin trust as well. 5 specific crypto assets trust. Also got other positive news coming from another competitor to JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, settling crypto ETFs in the European clients for their hedge fund institutions relationships in Europe. And this is basically stemmed from the prime brokerage division, stemmed from the US. As you know, Goldman Sachs has been slowly adopting for its US clients, but seems like with respect to the global adoption for crypto assets, European nation would be one of the first venture of relationship that they decide to initially going forward. So obviously another stamp of approval, another strong gravitas to the long-term value proposition for crypto assets as a whole, but not just specifically for Ethereum. And then we got some other news, but these are more trivial news. And one is coming from Cointelegraph. I'm just keeping tabs here, right? And the title say, "Just hold Bitcoin, Ethereum outperform lower risk crypto index funds." Obviously, when you hear something like that, obviously Cointelegraph are one of those media companies that you have to just kind of question about their rationale, right? Why are they saying this now, despite kind of screaming at us that, oh, Ethereum is not as good versus Solana versus Cardano, or saying anything negative towards Ethereum. Like I believe I could recall was just like a couple of days ago, we saw a couple of negative articles coming from that specific media company, and now they twisted on the opposite side of the spectrum, saying something that kind of contradicts what they were saying before, right? So obviously, when you see something like that with that inconsistencies, you kind of have to raise your flag, like, that's something going on right there, right? And then positive news would be more, more of the entertainment side of the world. So Rockefeller, the co-founder, is depicted to be selling NFT for about $10 million in Ethereum specifically, amid the Jay-Z lawsuit that's currently cultivating between Damon Dash versus JC, which is the two co-founders. Seems like they're in a bit of a dispute, right? And also, if you recall from the video yesterday, Busta Rhymes, right, who's a rapper, based on his understanding from the B Word Summit, or he heard from Elon Musk, or maybe they're personal friends, or if you may, I don't know, that Busta Rhymes decided to invest in Bitcoin, and he also mentioned that he's, maybe deciding to invest in Ethereum as well. So obviously drives some positive pressure, but it's more like a trivial side of the world, not really anything substantive, if you may, right? So obviously with this collections of very positive news that's been percolating for the last 12 to 16 hours, is driving a lot of buying pressure, right? Despite the positive days that we've been, percolating ever since the B Word Summit that we've had on Wednesday on the 21st, right? I'm gonna go through a technical analysis again. Seems like the trend is definitely very bullish right now, based on the technical analysis that we've been talking about, despite the weekend affectation that we've discussed earlier, right? So I'm gonna see how the trend is going forward. Are we gonna see more of a sell-off coming, or are we gonna see more of a pump coming? How sustainable is the current level right now, right? So stay tuned, stay around, let's make some money. Alright, so moving on to the technical analysis for Ethereum ticket ETH. I'm recording this of 7:32 a.m. on an Eastern time. Current trading like the $2,145 level, about 0.23%. And again, just want to say happy Saturday to everybody. Hope you guys are all having a great day. or if your weekend's already ending already, we are looking forward to the Sunday. But hope everybody's having a good day so far. With respect to Ethereum, we are obviously leaping up with a more of a positive momentum because of obviously the consecutive positive news that we've been percolating across the whole media affectation for the last 12 to 16 hours, and I've been keeping tabs, right? So it seems like the news are definitely very coincidental. It definitely stemmed from the B word summit, which subsequently drove some sort of a market macro catalyst, exposing crypto assets to the world, educating people for the better, and then the news kind of subsequently use it as a supplement and further propel on top of that, right? So the momentum's definitely there, and I think the chart is telling you all of that as well. So you can see that with respect to the cross section that will form on the 22nd, which is basically the day after the B-Word Summit, and we've been leaping up and away ever since, right? However, on the RSI perspective, we are leaning more to an overbought level right now, right? So remember, today is still a weekend, and I think the news have been very positive so far, right? So if we hear anything negative coming up, right? Let's say because of the fact that we've been up for such a long time right now, I think a correction, not a sizable correction, but like a moderate correction for people to take a little bit of a profit, right? Would be logical, right? And I think on Saturday because again it's a weekend, and on top of the fact that next week we do have some relatively seismic macro drivers, right, with respect to earnings call that's coming from a lot of large cap stocks, and also with respect to FOMC meeting that we know is going to happen on 27th, 28th, right? So if we have a negative one, we're definitely leaping back down, right? And the first level will be hitting the 2000, and then the next level will be to 1960 or 1950, depending on how specific you want to be, and the 1850, right? But obviously we hit the 1900 first because that's just like a flat number, but 1850 will be more logical, right? And knowing the fact that we've been going up and away for the last 3 days so far, taking some time to cool off just makes sense that way, right? We don't just pump up and away without any consolidation. We've been just like a rocket ship so far, right? And like again, I told you that we are overbought right now, or leaning more towards the overbought zone. So, if you bought at the 1750 and you want to maybe just capture some short-term gains, I think maybe taking some profit at this moment right now wouldn't be surprising to me, right? I think Sunday is a wild card, and I know Sundays are historically more of a rebound day, right? That's something we know. We have seen that before, but but also that those are the days that it's more of a wild card that the media affectation can subsequently change the course of nature to it, right? And we know that we've been up and away, and know that institution has bought in at the lower levels. That's just a matter of fact, right? Because of the B word anticipatory pressure, but also the confirmatory pressure at the same time. So for some people to take some profit, knowing the fact that we did breach about the 2,150 earlier today, I think the all-time high was 2,169. We are at a very substantive level, right? Which is, great, but you have to also adjust for what happened in the last 3 days as well, right? Whatever goes up really, really fast comes down just as fast. And the risk profile that we see in front of us right now is increasing because the price is increasing so much. And these have always, this is mainly driven by, media affectation, right? And confirmatory news, but nothing like truly about like corporate adoption or substantiveness, right? That gives you a lot of, long-term gravitas into the sustainability of the price level that you have right now, right? So something to be mindful of, and taking profit now wouldn't be a bad idea. But for me, I am holding long-term. So despite this volatility coming, despite the FOMC volatility that we'll be experiencing for the next couple of days coming up, I'm still going to be holding, right? Because long-term wise, we know this is going to outperform. And the price level that we at right now will be laughable going forward, if you may. All right, just to recap on numbers and technical analysis, with respect to current level, the 2,150, despite this being a very consolidated substantive level that we've tested at least, I would say, 23 times in the past, right? With respect to the consecutive green days we've had so far, on top of the fact that today's a Saturday, right? How much lemon juice can we squeeze out the lemon so far, right? Think about it that way, right? And I think it's logical for some people that bought at the bottom around like 1800 to 1750, like myself, to take some profit right now because we up relatively healthy at the moment, right? And also on top of the fact the substantiveness of this pump that we incur so far is mainly driven by news, right? And next thing you know, we could hear like a negative news coming out on Saturday, later today, or on Sunday, which have always been a wild card for us. Then the risk is definitely percolating more, right? And whatever goes up really, really fast comes down just as fast, right? So something to be mindful of. So I for me actually hold off. But if you want to buy for a long term, totally fine. 2,150. That's a level I bought in before in the past, right? I think the next level, if we leap down, would be 2050, which is the next comfort zone that we've leaped down to. 2060, actually, to be more specific, right? And if we break the 2000, the next leap down will be 1950, right? And I think we could potentially get there if we have negative pressure around the FOMC meeting that's coming up on the 27th and 28th, right? However, with respect to corporate adoption, 20%, 9,800, 4.6 times your money if you buy at the $2,150 level, and hold this for the next 12 to 24 months, right? And you will be thinking yourself in a long-term perspective going forward. All right, so that's it for today. Respect my technical analysis on Ethereum ticket ETH. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of the Saturday, a great rest of the weekend. Really appreciate you guys for being such, diligent investors and listening to me on a daily basis. It's such a joy and a pleasure to be speaking with you guys and engaging with you guys on a daily basis. We will all eventually get to the financial goals, the objective that we're looking for. And I really am appreciative of you being part of our team here, our mission here on, helping as many people as we can collectively together going forward, right? But yeah, feel free to ask me questions if you have any questions specifically on what we talked about today. And stay tuned for the next one. Take care. Bye.